that they are Christians and attend church faithfully and may even hold a position of leadership, but who have absorbed a worldview that makes it easy for them to ignore their Christian principles when it comes time to do the practical business of daily living. Their sincerely held Christian principles are in one mental category for them, and practical decision-making is in another. Such persons can believe that Jesus is coming again to judge the world, and yet live as if the standards of this world are the only thing that needs to be taken into account. Likewise, Christian education is likely to be an exercise in futility if it does not prepare our young people to confront and survive the worldview challenges that they will surely meet as soon as they leave the security of the Christian home, and probably even while they are still living at home and being educated in a Christian environment due to the pervasive influence of the media and the internet. For example, a youngster may be taught very fine Christian principles, but he or she may also grow up understanding that these principles fit into a specialized category called religious belief. Sooner or later, that youngster will find out that secular college professors, and sometimes even Christian professors, proceed from an implicit assumption that religious beliefs are the kind of thing one is supposed to set aside when learning how the world really works, and that it is usually praiseworthy to grow gradually away from those beliefs as a part of the normal process of maturing. Why do those professors think that? Of course, they are being influenced by the dominant belief system in their academic culture, which is also the culture of the newsroom at most daily newspapers or television stations. But just to say that people are influenced by their cultural environment does not explain how our culture has come to be the way it is, when it used to be very different. To survive in modern or postmodern American culture without being overwhelmed by its concealed prejudices, everyone needs to know how to recognize those prejudices, to understand what kind of thinking brought them into existence, and to be able to explain to ourselves and others what is wrong with the pervasive assumptions that often come labeled only as the way all rational people think, and that will swamp our faith if we are not alert to them. A fine education in worldview analysis is as basic an element of a modern Christian's defense system as a shield was in the days when a prudent traveler needed to be prepared to repel an attack by sword-wielding robbers. Today, the intellectual brigands rob unwary youths of their faith, and they do it with arguments based on the shifting sand of what everybody knows and the way we think today. Those youths need to find the solid rock, and they need to know both why the rock is solid and why the world prefers the shifting sand. Only a very gifted author is capable of writing a book about worldview analysis that will make exciting reading for the ordinary person, but which is also sufficiently informed by scholarship to convey a deep understanding of the subject, rather than merely a superficial acquaintance. Everyone is aware that American culture changed enormously during the 20th century, but very few people understand how the change was brought about by ideas and habits that seemed at first to be eccentric, or of only minor importance, but that eventually crept into the popular culture and proved to be almost irresistible. The situation we find ourselves in today has deep roots in the thinking of earlier times. Conduct that not very long ago was regarded as perverse or criminal has become not only tolerated but the new norm. Those who dare to disapprove of that conduct, or just fail to applaud the new norm with sufficient enthusiasm, are themselves likely to feel the full weight of society's disapproval. The change in conduct was brought about by changes in worldview, which caused those who followed the new fashions to think differently. With that much of an introduction, I invite you to read Nancy Pearcey. You will find not only pleasant reading, but all the elements and basic information necessary to produce a Christian mind with a map of reality that really works. When Christian parents, pastors, educators, and other leaders learn to give this subject the importance it deserves, and to practice it even as they teach it thoroughly in the home, from the pulpit, and in every classroom, then Christians will find that they are no longer fearful and timid when they have to address claims of worldly wisdom.